Unlike the unwarranted and unacceptable amount of hate that LeBron James has received this whole season for the Lakers' epic fail of not even making the damn play-in tournament after having I repeat, five future first ballot Hall of Famers on the team and having four NBA all-time 75th anniversary players. Should have been five, including Dwight Howard, but that's a subject for a different day. Not even make the play-in tournament is a disastrous, epic fail. And as always in the world of sports, they're always going to look to place the blame on somebody. Somebody has to be the scapegoat. Now, it's been rumors and reports that the Lakers and Frank Vogel are going to part ways at the end of the season. Pretty much, they're telling Frank, we got to blame you, so we going to fire your ass. Because the coach always gets blame the first in the world of sports. It's just how it is. As unfair as it is, that's just how the business goes. And if you ask me, my personal opinion is it's easy to blame the coach, but can't blame the players when the players suck. I mean, listen, coaches, the job is only coach. All right, the coaches is not the coach's responsibility or fault that the players suck and can't play defense and are all old and can't even make their jump shots or wide open jump shots and can't do anything on the court. But that's beside the point. I'm going on a tangent here. So, with LeBron James missing his second playoffs in his Lakers era, 2 out of the 4 years, a lot of people have started to question his legacy. Well, is LeBron James' legacy as the all-time great now staying because he missed the playoffs his second year with the Lakers? And if you ask me, that is the most ridiculous, asinine, idiotic question I have ever been asked in my life. And I've been seeing, again, these quote-unquote sports commentators go on these various networks like ESPN and Fox Sports, Undisputed, First Take, all those great sports debate shows continuously talk about LeBron James' legacy. And I believe it was Skip Bayless, of course, who is the most known natural LeBron James hater out there. I mean, the man has just made a bag just sucking LeBron off and just constantly hating on him every chance he gets. Said that, it's going to stay in his legacy because, like I said, you have Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard and Melo, and you didn't even make the play-in tournament. That's embarrassing. Yes, it is embarrassing. It's a bad look, but it doesn't stain his resume or record at all because, again, Stephen A. Smith is a natural born LeBron James hater. That's for a fact. But if we want to look at it and break it down, this man, LeBron James, has been asked to do something in year 19 at 37 years old that he was still asked to do at 27. People are still expecting LeBron James to do at age 37 years old to what he did in 27. That goes to show you that he is still in his prime. That's been the question out there. Has LeBron James left his prime? The answer is no. And if you haven't been able to watch the game of basketball, or you're just blind, or you're just another LeBron hater out there, I'm going to read you his stats for the 2022 season. LeBron James in year 19 consecutive years of playing basketball at the highest level, averaged 30.3 points per game, 8.2 rebounds, 6.2 assists, shot 52% from the field, and played 37 minutes. This man is 3 years away from being 40 years old, a midlife crisis, and he is putting up these MVP caliber players. And yet you have those idiots out there who are licensed to give an opinion and have their own sports debate talk shows to convince the narrative and to tell you that, LeBron James has passed in prime. What prime has he passed with these numbers that he's putting up? I want you to let me know. What prime has this man passed, continuing to put up these ridiculous numbers? Now, yes, team-wide success has been an epic fail, But solo-wise, LeBron by himself has still shown that he's capable of being LeBron James. And I mean, he's been doing it since he got into the league at age 18. But again, you have those idiotic people out there like the Skip Baylesses, the Chris Broussards, and all those people. I was watching First Things First this morning. It was like, yeah, LeBron is no longer past his prime. And this is the reason why they say LeBron was no longer past his prime, was because his ability to carry a team full of nobodies to a playoff round or playoff series, he can't do that anymore. And again, it goes back to the point. You're asking a man 37 years old to do when he was 27. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. Again, just prove the point. They're haters. They have nothing else to talk about. It's all narrative. But I'm a numbers guy, so let's bring the numbers out here. So we all agree that, again, LeBron James is top 3 conversation of GOATs of all time. He's always been compared to Michael Jordan. That's been the barbershop debate. Who's the best player, LeBron James or MJ? You could throw Kobe in there, but it's mainly MJ, LeBron. Michael Jordan didn't even get to year 19. He stopped playing after year 15, so he's disqualified. He has no year 19 resumes or stats to look off. You want to look at the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the current leading scorer in the NBA at this time. As we all know, LeBron James will surpass him by next season. His year 19 stats. In 1987, he played 29 minutes, which is about, I'm not good at math, but 8 minutes less than what LeBron James played in year 19. Average about 14.6 points per game and 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Lower numbers than LeBron James in points, lower numbers than LeBron James in rebounds, and lower numbers than LeBron James in assists. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's year 19 compared to LeBron's year 19 doesn't even come close. All right, let's look at the great Kobe Bryant. God rest his soul, R.I.P. Kobe. His year 19 in 2015, he averaged 17.6 points per game, played 28 minutes, shot 36% from the field, and only had 3.7 rebounds. All of those numbers across the board are all significantly lower than LeBron James playing in year 19. Now, let's go to the big fundamental himself, Shaquille O'Neal. Year 19, he was on the Boston Celtics, a shell of himself, 9.2 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, and played just 20 minutes. Okay, let's look at, Tim Duncan, the big fundamental himself. Not Shaq, but that's Tim Duncan. In year 19 for the big man, 2015, he averaged 8.6 points per game and 7.3 rebounds per game. Karl Malone in year 19, who's a top 3 in most points scored in NBA history. He averaged 13 points per game and 7 rebounds per game, but he did play a good amount, which is 33 minutes, but yes, still significantly less than LeBron James. It goes to show you this. Now everybody want to say LeBron hasn't passed his prime, but yet in year 19 he has played better than every single person who is considered one of the greatest of all time in the sport of basketball. Numbers blown them out by far. He has blown them out by far. Okay. Now we want to change the narrative from LeBron James is no longer in his prime. Well, he's the longevity award winner for being able to sustain this. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about right now? We are basing a man's ability to carry a team full of nobodies, to carry a team full of people who were not personnel-wise equipped to fit his playing style, because the front office want to decide to go for big names and not for players that fit the system and fit the style of play around him. And it comes back to bite you in the ass. And yes, LeBron James played a part in that, but we are talking about, is he still in his prime? That's a subject for a different day. But LeBron James' role as a GM, and we all know that he has been horrible. But LeBron James is not past his prime. If anything, yes, Father Time is always undefeated, but you cannot tell me one NBA player in NBA history in 19 years of playing basketball putting up these kind of numbers at 37 years old. LeBron James is asked to do so much. Hey, LeBron, we need you to score 29 points out there. We need you to grab about 8-9 rebounds, and can you give us about 6 to 9 assists? Can you do that? 19 years, okay? You usually ask a player who's in year 9 to do that, not year 19. And most of the time, he was forced to do that because, again, of the erratic play of Russell Westbrook. Now, let's look back to the Lakers this season overall. After the All-Star break, they were about 4-17, okay? In those 4 wins, LeBron James has averaged 45 points. It has taken that type of performance from LeBron just for the Lakers to be competitive. You are asking a man who is in year 19, 37 years old, 3 years removed from being 40, to go out and score 45 points a night just for you guys to be competitive. How ridiculous is that? That's like some 2K shit right there. You can't make that stuff up. But we will always find a way to hate LeBron, because hating on LeBron James is the most popular thing to do in today's sports media, because they have nothing else to talk about. As soon as you mention the word LeBron James, it gives you click rates, it gives you views, because he is still the biggest and most known sports icon out there. And so, yes, people in the sports world, their basketball knowledge is lacking, and it kind of goes to show you that anyone can kind of really do their job as long as you're able to talk good and you able to convince people with your stupid BS. Hey, I should be hired on Fox or ESPN myself, but hey, I'm on YouTube doing Worlds TV. But that's it for me, signing off, giving you some real talk about the NBA world of sports and not giving you some BS narrative. Worlds TV again. I'm out. Have a good day, y'all.